Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLuga. Thanks so much for tuning in here, and good morning, Duval. Tuesday, March 4th. So, news came out yesterday that Eagles are going to be allowing Darius Slay, one of the best corners of the last decade in the NFL, hit free agency. And there's several other Eagles free agents, it looks like, that could hit free agency. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Makai Beckon, maybe even Zack Bon. So we're going to take a look and see, should the Jaguars try to, go poaching a little bit on these Philadelphia Eagles and bring in some Eagles free agents that helped them win the Super Bowl. All these guys were big impacts in the Eagles bringing home the Lombardi Trophy for the second time in franchise history. Every single one of these guys. Now, we're going to talk about, do they fit in Jacksonville? Should the Jaguars prioritize them? All that good stuff here on the show today. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel further, you can check out genjag.com/shop. Pick up some new Duval gear. Our Game On t-shirt, available for pre-order only. Today is the final day to pre-order it, so if you want to get your hands on that, go check it out, genjag.com/shop. We're going to start with Darius Slay, because that's the news, right? The Eagles have said they're letting him hit free agency. 34 years old, just turned 34. So he is up there, right, in terms of years played, but I still think he's playing at a damn high level. Should the Jaguars be interested? Yes, the Jaguars should absolutely be interested. If you go for a Darius Slay, how much does it cost? Probably not his elite money, his top contract, right? Because he's 34 years old. I don't think you're having to pay him at the top of the market at this age, even though he's playing arguably as still one of the top corners in football. And, he's from Brunswick. That's not far away from Jacksonville. So maybe he would like to return home. My guess is Jacksonville wouldn't be the top landing spot in Darius Slay's mind, just in terms of maybe ring chasing, if that's what he wants to do. If he wants to go to a competitive kind of upstart young franchise that is willing to dish out some cash for him to come here, yeah, it could make sense. And you talk about the Jaguars' needs. They need corner. Opposite Tyson Campbell. They have Jarian Jones in the slot. They have Tyson Campbell starting outside. Darius Slay, to me, does make a lot of sense. And you talk about his ability on the field, very sticky in coverage, very physical, 6 foot, 190. He's still got speed, decent run defender. I don't think by any stretch he's one of the top run defenders at the cornerback position at this point, but does not miss a lot of tackles. So you do appreciate that. He would be a massive upgrade, and he would be the type of swing that you're talking about you're trying to compete for a Super Bowl in the next couple of years, right? That's what you're trying to do if you sign a Darius Slay. And there's no reason the Jaguars shouldn't be in that mindset, but you also do want to build long-term. I think the Jaguars are going to sign a cornerback in free agency. I strongly believe that. A starting corner. Whoever that is, I honestly think that they need to try to replace that signee in the draft. So in a couple years, when they're able to move on from that contract, they have a young player to step in and replace that production, replace those snaps, and not have a drop-off, right? So I think the Jaguars should be looking to address corner in free agency and the draft. That's kind of how I view it. And the Jaguars have been linked to Carlton Davis, who I think would be a really good fit. I like him a lot. I don't think he's as good in coverage as a Darius Slay, but he is younger. But again, the way I'm looking at it, age doesn't really matter that much to me, because I think the Jaguars should be pursuing someone that they can replace in a couple years. That's how I view it. I don't think you're adding a pillar of the franchise long-term in free agency at cornerback this year. I think what you're doing is getting somebody who can hold down the fort while you develop a young guy. That's kind of how I view it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about the cornerback position. But I'd be in on Slay. Sure. It's not like he misses a ton of time due to injury. If he wants to come to Jacksonville and the Jaguars are willing to pay, I mean, I'm guessing, what's the top of the cornerback market right now? About $21 million. Pulling that up. I don't think that okay, so Jalen Ramsey's at 24, Patrick Surtain's at 24, Jair's at 21, and Jair could be hitting the free agent market as well if nobody ponies up and trades anything to the Packers for him. I would guess in the 19 range, at his age, 19 over a couple years, 19 per year over a couple years. So that's kind of what I would guess for Darius Slay. And I'd be in on that, sure. Year one cap hit of, maybe half that, 40% of that, under $10 million for a cap hit for Darius Slay. Sure. Sign me up. Again, that's the type of move that says you're trying to win a Super Bowl. And I think you should be trying to win a Super Bowl. Bottom line. And the Jags have a big need there opposite Tyson Campbell. So looking at some other Eagles, Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat is going to be 28 years old. He is a very good starting edge rusher. Does he make sense for the Jaguars? I honestly don't think so. I think you look at Sweat as a starting edge defender in this league. I don't think he's signing to be a backup to Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen. So to me, that one doesn't make as much sense, even though very good player. And if you could get him as a third edge, absolutely. But I just don't think that that's going to add up. I don't think that's going to make sense. I think he's going to get paid somewhere to be a starting edge defender. So I don't think that one really aligns with how the Jaguars should be or will be building out their roster. I do think they're going to sign an edge in free agency, or at least they should be considering it to be edge 3, or compete for edge 3. But I don't think that Josh Sweat is necessarily that guy, right? So we're going to keep on talking about some of these Eagles free agents. First, got to remind y'all about Underdog. This basketball season, when your favorite star scores buckets, we are alley-ooping you an opportunity to win money from watching sports with Underdog. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward. Signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code DuvalDaily, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick injury, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Tonight, I'm taking a look at, obviously, Paolo Banchero. Can he score more points than Underdog up at? You make the call on Underdog, right? That is Underdog Fantasy, promo code DuvalDaily to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 90 plus, Alabama, Nebraska, 90 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus, Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply, void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. If you are supporting them, you are supporting us. So, talking about a couple more of these Eagles free agents, Zack Bon. I don't think the Eagles let Zack Bon walk. The guy was too integral to their defense. Too good. Too darn good. Unbelievable player for the Eagles. Playing more off-ball linebacker than he ever did in his career before. He was kind of a hybrid guy coming out of Wisconsin. Like, if he hit free agency, would I be interested? Yeah. He played unbelievably well, and I think if you look at Bon and Foye-Oluokun together, that could be really exciting. But the Jaguars have invested a lot at linebacker. I think I would guess this organization, this new regime, would like to see if Devin Lloyd can get it done for them in their defense. And because he has unbelievable flashes, he has consecutive games at times where he plays great football and he's a really good run defender. He doesn't miss tackles. I would guess that between Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma, and certainly Ventrell Miller, they would be looking to find their starter next to Foye-Oluokun on the roster already, right? That's my guess. I do love Zack Bon's game, though. Absolutely do. And, honestly, if if they're looking to replace one of those guys, I would guess it's through the draft versus free agency. That's just my take on it. Makai Beckon, yeah, there's a lot of potential guards set to hit free agency that are exciting. Trey Smith, I don't know if he's going to be one of them from the Chiefs. It seems like one way or the other they find a way to kind of keep him. But you have Tevin Jenkins, Makai Beckon, Will Fries. You've got James Daniels coming off of injury who can play as well. To me, Beckton would be close to the top of the list. I would have Tevin Jenkins above him. I think Tevin Jenkins is a more well-rounded overall player. I have heard scuttlebutt some rumors that Makai Beckton might be looking to make a move back to right tackle, in which case he wouldn't make sense. But if he's willing to play guard for you, like he did in Philly, and did a very good job creating a lot of push in the run game and using his size and athleticism and physicality, I could be in on that because the Jags have to upgrade their run game in a big way. Beckton would do that at right guard. Brandon Sheriff set to free agency. Beckton, I don't think he is the pass protector Brandon Sheriff is, so that's something to keep in mind. But he's also a lot younger. You could keep him around for a while potentially. And if he's able to continue what he did in Philly at right guard from a run blocking perspective, you could be really talking about an upgraded running game in a big way. Allowing Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, whoever else is back there to have a little bit of room to breathe. They need it. They absolutely do. So Beckton, yes, I would be higher on Tevin Jenkins, certainly Trey Smith if he hit free agency, but Makai Beckton, if he was willing to play guard again, yeah, that's someone definitely to keep an eye on. Now, Milton Williams. This is an interesting one because the Jaguars, they're paying Eric Armstead this year. They're probably not paying him after this year. And Milton Williams, he is the type of guy, if you signed him, interior defensive lineman from the Philadelphia Eagles, he's only about to be 26 years old. So he has the potential to have some staying power. You could sign him and keep him around for a long time. Eric Armstead probably going to be coming off the books following the 2025 season. Milton Williams, really dominant interior pass rusher this year. He came into his own. I think he's been a good player his entire career for the most part. I think rookie years can be difficult. I think the last 3 or 4 years, he's been a really good football player for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you pair him up, if you want to, let's just say you don't want to take Mason Graham at 5. And you're not as high on the defensive tackle class as a lot of people are. I mean, I'm very high on this class. But let's say you pair up Milton Williams with Mason Smith long term. That could make sense. It really could. And I think he helps you against the run, even though he's not the biggest dude. And he is a big-time interior penetrator as well. So I think situationally, you can use him to defend the run and to get after the quarterback. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it with Milton Williams. Would not be upset about that one bit if the Jaguars want to go pursue Milton Williams. And he's probably going to be in the, I would guess 20-ish. You look at these contracts for defensive tackles. Yeah, I think he'd be in the $22 million range, $20 to $22 million range, quite frankly, which I think a lot of the guys in that range are more proven than he is. But he's next up. He is next up. So that's kind of how I look at the Philadelphia Eagles free agents and their fits with the Jaguars. I think Darius Slay is a great fit, but age might be a factor for the Jaguars, 34, and he might be looking to ring chase a little bit more, and the Jaguars might not be the most appealing team in that regard to a potential free agent, but money does talk, and the Jaguars, they've been linked to Carlton Davis pretty heavily, and he's a lot younger, maybe fits that Tyson Campbell mold of player. He doesn't have the same level of speed as Tyson Campbell, but long, great run defender. And then you look at Josh Sweat, probably not a fit. You look at Zack Bon, probably not a fit. Beckton and Milton Williams, I think, are definitely potential fits for the Jaguars. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, Y'all have a good one.